This is Herobrine. He's an urban legend from the early days of Minecraft, and billions of people recognize him, probably including you. But have you ever heard of Herobrine.com? Well, for years, if you ever made the mistake of visiting it, this is what you would see. Yet today, Herobrine.com is innocent as can be. So who's behind this website? Why were they terrorizing the Minecraft community? And most importantly, what happened to Herobrine.com? Let's go back. Back to around, say, August 2010. Minecraft was still in alpha, but after a huge YouTuber named CNanners covered the game, hundreds of thousands of new players were all flooding into the Minecraft community. But they weren't entering into the peaceful, blocky world they had seen in a CNanners video. No, something else had captivated their attention. The story of White Eyes, also known as Herobrine. It wasn't anything too crazy, just your standard creepypasta, but it was interesting, and when players like Copeland brought the story to the next level with live streams and fanfiction, it was the perfect storm. The legend of Herobrine spread like wildfire across the Minecraft community, and millions of players began experiencing their own Herobrine encounters, even if it was only in their heads. It was a phenomenon, it still is, and Herobrine's been a household name in the Minecraft scene ever since. But right as this was all blowing up, before it had even hit the mainstream, an anonymous man decided to register a website called Herobrine.com. At first, it was completely empty, just a landing page and later a blank page, but by 2014, it looked like this. The first day of my job, I was a little late, but it's okay. I just came for training. I think it'll be a good opportunity to improve myself. I really want to learn something new. Be happy, be healthy. So, how did we get from an innocent Chinese blog to this disgusting creature? Well, that story is actually pretty interesting. All throughout the rest of 2014, the site was just that same sweet Chinese man blogging about his life. Working, traveling to the USA, all that good stuff. But at some point in 2015, that blog disappeared, and it was replaced with a link to a website called Sheifu, with a funky little maze game on it. Check it out. See, back in the late 2000s, early 2010s, the internet was a very different beast than it is today, and shock videos ruled the web. Whether it was gross, gory, or just goofy, there were literally thousands of these websites and videos meant to grab your attention for better or for worse, and the king of them all was the scary maze game. It was just a simple flash game where you navigate your way through a maze, but on the third level it starts getting pretty difficult, and you have to focus. And that's exactly what they want, because right as you're about to finish the level, boom, it gets ya. Sheifu.com actually was a mirror of the maze game site, only without the game itself. It just says the maze and then tries to give you an aneurysm. A few years later, Herobrine.com became its own screamer site, and it didn't look back for years. But why did Herobrine.com ever link to this random screamer site in the first place? Well, if you go through the Internet Archive, you can see that for its entire history, Herobrine.com and Sheifu.com have been pretty much the same. They both kept going back and forth between these Chinese blogs and a screamer site, and sometimes they'd even just redirect to each other. Apparently, Sheifu and Herobrine were both made by the same guy, a prolific Chinese shock site owner whose only goal is to scare the internet at all costs. And there's no better way to send little kids into a panic than by jump scaring them on a Minecraft website. So now we know the why behind the Herobrine.com screamer, but I'm still blanking on the who. Who would want to actively terrorize kids just for a quick laugh? Well, I mean, most people, because it's fun, but nobody's going through this kind of effort. If we want to crack the identity of the mastermind behind Herobrine.com, we're gonna have to look a little deeper. The archives of Herobrine have run their course, so instead, let's take a look at Sheifu.com. Just like Herobrine.com, it started out pretty empty, but by March 2011, the original owner said he was selling the domain, and the website turned into the screamer we all know and hate. So, now we know that there were two owners, the original blogger and the later shocker, right? Well, you might think so, but take a look at this. Just after that message about selling the website, in its place, another link appeared to a website called tmdchina.net. And wouldn't you know it, It was a Chinese blog just like before. But Aiden, you might say, maybe they had some sort of agreement where the new owner could promote the original blog. And to that I say there's literally 2 girls 1 cup on the blog page. If you don't know what that is, don't look it up. Trust me, it's so much worse. I don't know what little game this guy was trying to play, but you're not fooling me, Buster. The ruse is up. You never sold the website at all. Yeah, I know, it's kinda wild to say, but the guy telling us be happy, be healthy, is the same as the one trying to give us all a heart attack. And apparently, he didn't try to hide that very well, because just a few short months later, the guy even linked his personal Facebook account right on the top of the website, facebook.com/sinsunzhen. Now we have a name to look for, but honestly, I can't really find much on this guy. We know he must have been around in the early days of Minecraft, considering how fast he made the website after Herobrine went viral, but other than that, he's got accounts in all sorts of places, but most of them are dead, and the only actual post I can find from him is one where I think he's excited about a Chinese browser updating. Not exactly riveting stuff. But that's not the point. The point is, we got him, we figured it out, we know the man behind Herobrine.com, and we know all about his scheme to spread these screamer sites across the net and spook as many people as he could. But if it was all going so well for him, why stop? I mean, there are hundreds of thousands of views across the reaction videos to these sites. Clearly his plan was working, but by 2020, the site had started winding back down into the blog it is now. In other words, what happened? Well, we're never gonna know for sure, but I do have a theory. When the site got rid of its screamer, it replaced it with an Alipay QR code, which is sort of like the Chinese equivalent of putting your Cash App in your bio. You're encouraging people to donate to you. A few years after that, both Shifu.com and Herobrine.com were replaced with a notice that the websites were being sold for 99,000 yuan and 1 Bitcoin respectively, which is about 14,000 and 68,000 bucks. Pretty steep prices if you ask me. But the reason why he was doing all this becomes clear, I think, with what the site has now. Today, if you visit Herobrine.com, you don't get a screamer. All you see is the sun setting over China with a dense, foggy mist invading the city, and if you read the text below, it's no secret what this is. It can make you unable to breathe. It causes a stabbing pain on the left side of the chest. Over time, the heart becomes diseased and can start to fail. This is all caused by air pollution. My heart aches, and I live in depression every day. Sadly, it seems like it's not all fun and games anymore for the owner of Herobrine.com. Air pollution is a very real problem in China, and there's over 2 million deaths every year because of it. He was fighting something a lot scarier than a screamer. He was fighting real life. And with all that to deal with, suddenly, keeping this troll site up seemed a lot less important. It was time to close the book on Herobrine.com. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed. Have a good one. Peace, peace.